Greetings everyone, greetings lovers of freedom. Please, this video is for the whole Africa, the whole black race. I want you to pay attention and watch this video so that you will understand where the white, the Western world have placed Africa. You know, in my previous video, when I would say there is no country in Africa that have gotten independent, that what we have in Africa are companies controlled and managed by the Western world. Some of you misunderstand it and say, no, Maz, you are not saying the right thing. How can you say that the full Africa, the whole Africa, no country has gotten independent? I want you to watch this video. At least it is coming from a very prominent Western leader. And he is telling you that they are not going to let go Africa. There is a place where they are placing Africa. And that place, if Africa continues to remain there, we will continue dying in our numbers. We will continue dying in Mediterranean Sea in the search of a greener pasture. This is one thing I am passing to Africa. This is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is fighting to liberate Biafrans so that Africa will also be liberated. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just fighting for the people of Biafra, but for African at large. Now, let me so I will not take much of your time. Let us watch the video. After you watch this video, send it to every country in Africa and ask them, what do they think about what this man said? Remember, since this man have made this very comment, non-African leaders have risen up to challenge or to say, since this is where they place Africa, we will rise up to take Africa out and to make Africa great. Africa has what it takes to feed the whole world, but Africa is the most poorest continent in the wide world because of corruption. Stay tuned and don't forget, you are interacting with MAP Eziokwu Bundu, one in Biafra land. Remember, let's watch the video until I come your way again.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow Sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep Sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you, living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay? So the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay? And to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor, you know. So this is what we do in academic institutions. We know the basic forces that have caused this underdevelopment. We know it's colonization. We cannot afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures. Okay, so we will do everything to stop that. And I'm going to show you how we actually block that. We had East Asian rapid industrialization processes. So in the earlier period, we had Japan and Korea and Taiwan. Okay, rapid growth, sucking in raw materials from Africa, driving up the prices. And after those countries finished industrialization, then Sub-Saharan African growth rate again fell. Sub-Saharan Africa is condemned to this role. Just the supplier of raw materials, not a manufacturer. The currencies are collapsing of these countries, and many of them are sub-Saharan African countries. After colonization ended, We needed new structures to keep these countries where they were. Okay? And the first of those is aid. Okay, we give them aid. Aid for what? Actually, we give them aid to keep repressive regimes in power. That's all. All the hypocrisy about transparency and democracy and bullshit like that, it's all bullshit. But it would go to country after country offering loans. And if the president did not accept the loan, they were killed. It's just economics. It's economic warfare. The rich declare war on the poor. It happens everywhere. It happens in a country. The rich control the government. Of course they do. You really believe you have democracy? Come on. Grow up. Who has all the subsidies and income support? US, Europe. The largest budgets in the world for supporting their farmers are Europe and US. You see, we're keeping them dependent. We're keeping them on a string. This next round of the WTO is designed to block that. To block anyone else getting on top of the ladder.